Anybody ready for some nightmares? Well, step right up because this movie should be right up your alley. Yes, 2 for the price of 1. You're welcome. Not sorry in the slightest, my friends. Guys, my name is Zack. Welcome back to my channel where I love discussing all brand new things cinema and entertainment. I am so appreciative that you guys decided to click on this thumbnail today. I really hope you enjoy your stay because this time around, we're looking at Nightmare Alley. This one was written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, who's one of my absolute favorite directors. It's the second feature film adaptation of this really famous novel from back in the year 1946 or something like that. And it's got an unbelievable cast of all-stars. Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Rooney, Toni, Collette, Richard Jenkins, Ron Perlman, and Willem Dafoe. And this is set in 1940s New York, where down on his luck, Stanton Carlyle, played by Bradley Cooper, endears himself to a clairvoyant and her mentalist husband, and using the newly acquired knowledge from those two, Carlyle crafts a golden ticket to success by swindling the elite and the wealthy as a mentalist himself. And hoping for a big score, he soon hatches a scheme to con a dangerous tycoon with help from a mysterious psychiatrist played by Cate Blanchett, who just might be his most formidable opponent yet. So I'll admit that I have never seen the original 1947 film adaptation, so I went into this version of Nightmare Alley with completely fresh eyes, absolutely blank. But because seeing as how this was Guillermo del Toro helming this, I was absolutely interested in checking out what he was going to do because his last film actually won Best Picture. Anybody remember The Shape of Water? Very polarizing film, that one. That might be a topic for another time. But let's just say that Del Toro has not missed a step with Nightmare Alley. This is a fantastic film. The production design is its usual lush self. Extremely visceral and brutal imagery, just like Shape of Water. Nightmare Alley feels extremely old-fashioned as well. It looks like a film that was made in the 50s today. Of course, with better budget and equipment at their disposal. This shot composition and cinematography by frequent composer Dan Laustsen is unreal. The score by Nathan Johnson replacing Alexander Desplat is more than capable. Very, very creepy. Speaking of, this entire direction by Del Toro is euphorically creepy. The themes he's exploring, keep in mind, it's nothing you've never seen before. It's what makes a man versus what makes a monster. But it's his mastery behind the camera and how he explores these themes through some visceral character studies. It really does make all of these messages he's trying to convey wholly unique. And terrifying, too, to think about. Oh my lord. Now, as I mentioned toward the top of this review, this cast is stacked from top to bottom, and everybody is on top of their game, but there are a few standouts that I'd like to discuss in further detail. Namely Bradley Cooper, who is the best he's been in years in this. He honestly is playing so against his type. He's playing a con man, and also kind of a showman, which honestly, I know he's played showman in the past, like A Star is Born definitely was a showman there. But I think some people may see this role in Nightmare Alley kind of as a miscast. I personally don't think so, because even though he claims he's this charismatic medium, there's still something a little off with him. There's always the lingering possibility that this could all be a facade, and it could all come crashing down on him at any moment's notice. If this role were played by someone like Hugh Jackman, for example, it would be a little bit too obvious, don't you think? Hugh Jackman wasn't going to be lying about that because he's a natural showman. You know what I mean? I feel like if someone like him were taking on this part, it would be a little bit too simple and a little bit too on the nose. Bradley Cooper, on the other hand, he's always keeping you guessing. And this is a super fascinating character study that I'm sure Bradley Cooper was stoked to be sinking his teeth into. He's very much an anti-hero as well. Don't go into Nightmare Alley expecting to really love everything he's doing because there's a lot of really heinous shit under his belt. But no matter what, you can't help but be mesmerized with the way he takes on this role. Don't be surprised once the Academy actually recognizes him with a nomination for Best Actor. Same with Cate Blanchett, who plays this psychiatrist in a battle of wits, so to speak, with Stan himself. And she was fantastic. On the opposite side of the spectrum, this is someone very much playing her type, and she's embracing it with every frame she takes. Toni Collette has a very fun performance as well. She plays this medium who's obsessed with tarot cards, and I can definitely see a lot of audiences really gravitating towards her. She's as real as she ever is in this one. And Willem Dafoe, my boy, as this ringmaster. Oh my god, so deranged. What a weekend he's had as well, playing two very different deranged characters. If you don't believe me, go watch him in Nightmare Alley. He's fucking nuts. But it's such a fascinating character once again because he justifies the disgusting actions he has every single time. So much fun to watch these two, and please nominate them in the supporting actor categories, please. They deserve it. Nightmare Alley clearly has some stellar performances across the board. There is not one weak link, with some visually unbelievable technicals about it and masterful direction. Now, will this be an Academy favorite, especially when you look at the people involved in the top-notch work they're putting into it? Absolutely. Trust me, this is going to be recognized as one of 2021's top films. It's going to be topping a lot of people's best of the year lists for sure. Personally though, I don't see this as one of my 10 best of the year necessarily. I don't think it's as rewatchable as some of the other films that we'll be talking about. Stay tuned for my best of the year list, by the way. And that's because I did have a bit of an issue with the second act. Very slow, especially in relation to the other two acts sandwiching it. It's not nearly as interesting as the beginning and the end of this film. The stuff at the carnival itself where Stan is learning his craft and putting his acts together, fascinating. And then everything from the lie detector test all the way up to one of the most cathartic endings you'll see all year long, phenomenal. Seriously, that may be one of the best endings you'll see to a movie all year long. It was so emotionally satisfying. You've got to see it to believe it, guys. I dare not give it away here. But the second act stuff with this romance angle that Bradley Cooper's character shares with Rooney Mara's, and don't get me wrong, Rooney Mara is great in the film. There's nothing on her, but it just wasn't really gravitating towards me as much as the beginning and the end. It just wasn't really that interesting to me. Nevertheless, I certainly think this is something you should definitely seek out and form your own opinions on. If you need some variation at the movie theater, especially after the Spider-Man craze of this past weekend, this is certainly a film that I think you should check off of your list, especially for those of you looking to check off some of those Academy favorites at the movie theater. I'm gonna give Nightmare Alley an A-. Guillermo del Toro's done it again, guys. This movie was great. Some slow parts in the middle, but I do think that the first and the third acts of this movie are for sure worth the price of admission. But of course, this is all just my opinion. Let me know what you guys thought of Nightmare Alley down in the comments section below. Have you guys seen the original film from 1947? Have you guys read the original novel that both these movies were based on? Certainly a lot of things we can discuss down there, and honestly guys, I love creating this content. I love starting this discussion, and seeing your guys' feedback makes things all the more fun for me. But hey, if you guys are enjoying this content and you guys want to keep up to date discussing all brand new things cinema and entertainment, I would consider smashing that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. This channel is on the road to 1,000 subscribers, a number I'm hoping to reach very soon. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up button on your way out. This is not only beneficial to me, it's beneficial to you guys. The subscribers are always the first ones to know whenever there's a new upload over here. Not to mention, it's also completely free. And guys, as always, stay tuned for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. I've got reviews coming out for The Kingsman, The Matrix Resurrections, The Tragedy of Macbeth, just to name a few going into the holiday season. And holy shit, the finale of Hawkeye is out on Wednesday. We've got to talk about that too. So stay tuned for all this content and much more, including my countdowns for the best and worst of 2021. Y'all are the best. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for your support up to this point. And with all that being said, back talk, commence.